We're on still, right?
We're on.
Yeah.
What I thought was
going.
interesting in Bernie's response is that he could have nailed it, is that I think one thing that's missing from leadership in this country is any sense that the leaders have any loyalty to the people following them. I mean, what we see in both business and mainly politics is like loyalty and allegiance is supposed to be a praise be the people who are our masters above us, instead of like actual leadership where you take care of the people who you're leading, which I see almost nowhere in our society.
You wouldn't get an answer like he gave from any of the GOP candidates, though.
And I saw a couple tweets on there while we were going saying Bernie seemed off his game. Then I didn't think he seemed off his game at all. I think, if anything, he seems like he's tired that he has to keep repeating the
he does have to say the same thing over and over again.
Over and over and over.
Yeah.
People.
Eventually, people will get the clue that the CIA overthrew Mossadegh in Iran. That seems to be. I would like to see a comparison of which has happened more: Bernie referencing Mossadegh versus Ted Cruz referencing Al Khamenei, who is the current leader of Iran, because they both seem to bring those two up. And everybody in the audience is like, huh?
Who are those people with those strange-sounding foreign names?
So what struck me about, and you mentioned this, while it was going on, is just Chris Cuomo's cluelessness about that when.
But that's him, dude. I mean,
no, but that's all of them.
Yeah, but
you think he's any different from Chuck Todd or any of those guys?
Chuck Todd. Here's the difference between Chris Cuomo and Chuck Todd. I think Chuck Todd knows when he's fucking someone. And that Chris Cuomo doesn't know when he's fucking.
You talking about literally or figuratively?
I'm talking both. Look, go back to Chris Cuomo's meteoric rise, okay?
Yeah.
It was the day of the Boston bombings, right?
If you say so. I'm not a
cable news
guy.
That's where suddenly he was like, he's a star, because he was in Boston and he asked people questions. And what Chris Cuomo is great at is he's great at raising his eyebrows like this and looking like he's really innocent. And he I really don't know. So could you please give me an honest answer?
I'm really totally curious about this.
But that's just a face.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's that clueless.
Yeah. He's got a hook, though, which is nice.
He's got that hook. But, I mean, the guy he's definitely carrying water for the Clinton campaign.
But I don't even mean it that he's biased in favor of Hillary. I just mean
I get it. You're
response,
like, dude, what planet are you from that you don't realize how warped your questions are based on the reality of the world we're actually living in?
Yeah, saying that if you want to tax Wall Street and major corporations that are offshoring all their money, isn't that divisive? It's like,
it's not fair to
Donald
these
Trump
guys.
And Ted Cruz both say they want to go round up 12 million people and deport them.
12 million people, most of whom are working below minimum wage.
But regardless, divisive. It's only divisive when it's this whole thing about the class warfare. It's only class warfare if you're.
It's only class warfare if you're poor and you're tired of getting screwed over,
or you're representing the poor. I know Chris Cuomo doesn't see it, but that it doesn't get through to him on some level, because everybody in the audience gets it. Even the people who are like, I'm a Hillary supporter.
No, I could see in the audience people shaking their heads like, yeah, Bernie's absolutely right. That's true.
I don't know. What do you think of the question so far from the audience?
Look, all these town hall things are staged.
Right.
I mean, the guy who got up, the former banker with 40 years and the giant fucking rings on his finger, I mean, that guy might as well have been wearing a Hillary Clinton, T-shirt.